Jonesy, do you want to just try and sum that one up for us?
Impressive for a lot of it. I thought it was really good. Fought right to the back end of the game, probably 75 minutes maybe. I'm really proud of the boys. I've said to them just then that I've been on some journeys with this club and I've had some real successes, but it's all right being courageous and brave when you're winning and things are rosy. But when it's been the way it has for the last few weeks and we've had to put up with the questions we've had to put up with, that's when you need to be courageous. And I'm proud of the boys and the courage that they've shown, not just tonight but this whole week. And I've sort of said, look, we're going in the right direction. There's some smiles on the faces. You recall a couple of days ago I said they've had a really good training session, and I thought it manifested against a very, very good side at Huddersfield. We competed for large amounts of the game. Still areas where discipline lets us down, and that's not fully indoctrinated into our muscle memory. We're not forming them atomic habits enough quite yet, but we're on the right trajectory. The big concern, JD, is that, well, it wasn't the big concern. My big worry before the game was that if it didn't go well, that they wouldn't believe in the process. They won't have faith, small f, but they've bought in, and we're on the right trajectory. And the next couple of days are really important now.
Do you think you deserve to win that game?
We deserve to draw it because it was a draw. I'm one of these that I don't dwell too much on things that we can't control. If we deserved to have won it, we would have won it. I think if it was down to effort, then yeah, maybe. But credit to Huddersfield as well. You know, they were a fair bit behind. They had a bit of work to do, and they come back and they got a couple of tries. And winning can become a habit. They've got a great team there, and you can tell they've got a great little environment where they believe in what they're doing and they stick to the task that Ian Watson puts to them. And I respect that. I respect that Huddersfield were good, and they deserve to come back. They fought back into it. I'm disappointed because our boys are disappointed. I hurt for them. But at the same time, as you can see, there's a small smile on my face because I'm proud of the courage that they've shown this week.
What's going through your mind when Tui Lolohay's lining up that conversion at the end of normal time?
Yeah, I know sometimes you've got to go through pain. Life's a lot sweeter when you survive it and go through the other side, and he was ready to dish up some pain there. And then you felt, did we have enough structure to get the win? Did we look like scoring again? I wasn't sure. But wow, we showed some tenacity, we showed some courage and bravery and hard work at the back end of a big game to hold them out. And ultimately, listen, we've got the draw. I'll take that over a loss all day long, and we're moving in the right direction. Still disappointed. You know, we're Leeds Rhinos, we want to win games at home. But I hope that our fans, and it's not just for fans, I'm saying that as a fan myself, can see that we're working hard. We're working hard on training field, and we're doing our best to put things right.
Was there I don't know if you'd agree with me, would you say there was a passion there tonight that we've not seen this season?
Yeah, I think so. You know, this round is going to have a lot of passion in it, and we talked about lads like Tommy Briscoe celebrating a landmark there, 200 games for Leeds, 300 for his career, and same with Blake Austin. And whenever we show passion, we usually do it for our mates. You know, that's why we do it. I've been involved in a lot of really important games. I don't remember many of them. Honestly, I don't remember scored. I don't watch finals, and it's almost irrelevant now. It's gone. But I don't forget the people I played with, and I don't forget the memories and the moments and those times, especially when we've been through tough ones or we've come through it together. I've said this for years, so you know I'm not just making it up now. It galvanises you. And as a life experience for me, and this isn't about me, but as a life experience, it's a really important one for me, and you know, understanding what leadership looks like at some of the hardest levels with the greatest of expectation and the biggest of pressure on you.
Just lastly for me, what's the situation with Jack Walker?
Yeah, you know, we talked, didn't we, how we miss Richie Myler, and how important the fullback role is. He looks to have had a pretty significant twang there on his hamstring. We'll have to scan that in the next couple of days. Typically it's bank holiday and nobody's open, but we'll do our best to kick a door down, find out what's wrong with him. I've just really tried to articulate to him it's really important he keeps his head up and is positive. He's done some wonderful work for us in a really difficult period. He's run his blood to water, and Jack's been through the mire a little bit with injuries in recent years. Liam Sutcliffe is more than capable full-back. He's exceptional with ball in his hands, and it doesn't take too much away from his game. So we'll do a lot of work with him. It means maybe Cruz or others. Hopefully, when we get Aidan Caesar back in, I'll tuck in there at half. But we'll keep scrapping. That's just the situation, and we'll deal with it.
Jimmy, there was apparently Gary said in hospitality that a coaching announcement will be made next week.
Right.
Have you been made aware of any developments on that front?
No, I spoke to. I had a sit down with Gary yesterday, and he keeps his cards close to his chest. You know, that's what CEOs do. That's what they've got to do. We're trying to impress upon the team a fair bit in terms of values and hard work, and you know, it's important we keep doing that. So I'll just listen when he makes his announcement. He makes his announcement. We'll deal with it when he deals with it. Until then, I'll just keep boys positive and going in the right direction.
Just on the word on Jack Broadbent, obviously Alex Miller came in and had a good game. What does Jack need to do to get a regular? What does he need to work on?
He needs to keep developing. Needs to keep growing. You know, we've had a long history of really high quality centres. Jack's a good player. He's got a great aptitude for learning. He had some amazing games last year. Just felt he's been a tiny bit off at mark at the standard that we're playing at a minute, and just for where we've been, we just needed that little bit of consistency, conservativeness, solidarity, and Mel's will give you that all day long. You know, hopefully Harry Newman won't be a million miles. Well, he is a million miles off, but when he gets back, he'll offer a great deal in there. Young Max Simpson's played in a good performance tonight. You know, when they've fought back the academy, and again, I've been talking about the influence that we've had on them as well. Not to give up, to persevere. These are all messages we're feeding into young kids. When we get 26 on training field, those young boys, Jack's infield, the rest of them are all getting fed the same information, and I'm so proud of them tonight. You know, I've made a fuss of Jack in there. I haven't seen it yet, but I believe he's had a big influence on the back end of that academy game and come up with a special moment, and that's what we need. That's what Rhinos players do. So our youth are really important.
I was going to just ask about Jack. If Liam's obviously been playing in the halves, if he goes to fullback, does Jack become an option, or is it a bit too soon? I'd
love for Jack to be an option. And you're always thinking about his dad. He can't help it because he's in his image. He's double of him. Done everything he does, from rubbing his socks. I've sat and admired Kev for years, 20 odd years, and I look at Jack and think, wow. And when Jack does something that Kev don't do, like forget his diary or something like that, I'm like, oh, Jack, don't forget your diary. But at the same time, I'm like, it's not Kev. He's got to be Jack's infield. He's got to be somebody different. As much as we all love Kev, he's his own man, and he's come up with some special moments today, and I'm really pleased for him. And sometimes he'll come with mucky boots, and I think, yes, because Kev would never come with mucky boots. You know, he's his own man, and I love him, but he's working really hard. Physically, he's a young man. We don't want to break. He's going to be a gem, and we don't want to break him, so just got to be careful with Jack.
What was the mood in the sheds? Because obviously when you don't win a game when you're 10 points ahead, 2 minutes to go, it can go either two ways. What were the players?
They look like they lost the final. And I'm having it, devastated, like glazed over, looking at floor, and that is my big concern, because I don't know, we've got to snap out of that now. When they leave this building today, they've got to be thinking about what they're putting in their mouth tomorrow, what sleep they're getting, what processes they're going through to make sure they're in best possible condition and frame of mind to go again Monday. Because if we can compete like we did tonight on Monday, and without looking too far ahead, get the rest of the week right, and we might get back in the next week and think, actually, we'll take what happened today as a big learning curve. I've just got to keep them going in that direction.